baby. You can do it. Woo. 41, let's tuck a bit more. 42. Woo! 43. Right guys, welcome back to my next video. The e-bike. I've been going on about this for a while, you probably heard me go on about it in my videos. Do it yourself. It's the best way. So, we've got a 52 volt battery, a 45 amp controller, and the 1500 watt motor that you get in those Vollmart kits. It's basically like a 9C clone, if you like. So yeah, these kits are really easy to put together. I mean, obviously, mine's a custom job, I suppose, isn't it, really? It's a 21 amp hour, 52 volt battery, using Samsung 35Es. So it's not one of them type of batteries that you can just pull loads of amps out of it or anything like that. It's more for a bit of distance, but I mean, I've got a 45 amp controller on there, but you know, 45 amps is enough. Yeah, 45 amps is enough, and 52 volt. Obviously you can go mad with these, can't you? You can get those stealth bomber frames and use the best batteries and the biggest controllers and those QS motors on the back, or the Muxus turbo 3 kilowatt thing. But I've gone budget. I've gone budget. So the e-bike kit, it came with, it was from eBay. Again, I like to buy everything off eBay, obviously. So you get the motor as the wheel, obviously laced into a wheel. You get the controller, which that was just a 12 MOSFET 30 amp controller, which was giving you your 1500 watts, just over. Actually, it'll peak higher than that, I would have thought, that controller, on a 52 volt battery anyway, especially if fully charged. But yeah, this goes like a beast. Oh yeah, so the original kit that I bought from eBay, it was £191. It didn't come with this display. Basically it came with the controller, the motor, and a throttle with like a little battery gauge on it. But yeah, so I have basically bought a slightly bigger controller for it, so from 30 amps to 45 amps. I think it's an 18 MOSFET controller, you know. It's the long one that of the KT series controllers, the big one. 45 amps, 52 volt, although it's a 52 volt battery, when it's fully charged it's 58.8. So my calculation on a full charge, this is about 2.5 kilowatts, 2,500 watts, and it don't half go for a little bike. I mean, I've put loads of bits and bobs on here, but yeah, this is just a 2010 Saracen full suspension bike. I originally had this set up on a Cannondale hardtail, but yeah, I didn't like that the motor was kind of unsprung. Do you know what I mean? Like, with full suspension, the motor's got a bit of give in it. I've also got a suspension seat post on this as well, which I carried over from the hardtail. It makes this ride super soft. I've got Marzocchi front forks, I've got hookworm, they're like slick tyres. The moment I put them on, my top speed increased. they're really low rolling resistance, so they'll make you go a little bit quicker on top end. And also they're a lot more silent, like you can't really hear me going down the road on this, whereas before I had Continental Trail Kings, and they would really hum going down the road and everyone would look round. Yeah, so the original controller, that was a square wave. This is a simulation sine wave controller, which means it's quieter. You'll see in a sec. You can't really. You'll probably hear my mudguard scraping against the wheel at the minute, but so we're already at 30. So I've got the assist levels on here, basically the power levels, or like gears on the so 37 way in here. Let's put it in 5. Right, we're at 40, 41. I've GPS checked this speedo as well, so it does do what it says we're doing. 41, let's tuck a bit more. 42. Woo! 43. This road is lovely and smooth for this. Woo! But I'm doing 43. And like I said, I'll GPS check this, and it definitely does that speed. It does what the speedo's saying. But yeah, so that's basically what you get. If you buy a 48 volt battery, you're not going to get quite as much speed, because like I said, answering some of the questions about that scooter, volts equals speed. The more volts you got, the quicker you go. So yeah, this won't do that speed constantly. It'll drop the more the battery drops in voltage, but don't ask shift for what it is. I mean, I didn't think I'd ever see that type of speed out of it when I was building it, but yeah, it just wants to sort of fly. I know there's quicker bikes out there, and I know you can buy faster bikes, but this bike, if you really just look at it, I mean, I paid £330 for the battery. The kit was 191 quid. Okay, yeah, I've got a new controller in there, the 45 amp with the KT controller with the KT LCD free screen. But that was only an extra 95 quid. So what we're looking at, if you can afford £600 and you've got a bike to put it on, like an old full suspension like this, go for it. But yeah, you'll get about, I'd say you get a good, if you're tootling around like this, you get a good 40 miles out of this. Obviously, it's got the amps there as well, so it's got the acceleration when you need it, whereas a lot of these other kits don't have that. Very important, when you do buy a battery for it, make sure that the BMS is capable of that type of amperage. So if you're sourcing a 45 amp controller, you've got to make sure your battery does at least 45 amps max draw on the BMS. And so if you've got a BMS that's sort of 55 amps, you're all right. You're pushing it a bit on anything fucking lower than 45 amps. It's incredibly awkward to get in that car. I was going to get a bike wrap, but then also I've 3D printed all this battery case and everything and wrapped it as well, so it's a right pain in the ass to get off. I didn't make it easy, but it does come off. But yeah, this has got warp speed compared to the scooter. You see, I was doing 21 in gear 1. Do a bit of ghost pedaling. So, we're in Skeg today. Another nice day. The pier. Let's go to the beach. Oh, skill. Wasn't expecting all this sand to be on here. I don't like sand really. It gets everywhere. So yeah, it gets up the hills you want quite easy.
Red on its own. Red 1 and 9, 19.
I love this thing. It's kind of an all-terrain vehicle, but because of the slicks I can't really, at the minute, go too wild with it. Yeah, there's a lot of rattles as well. It's an old bike. I mean, I've replaced a lot of stuff, but my next job is to, instead of a cassette at the back, I'm gonna have a single speed, because you don't really need to change gears on this thing. I'll let the throttle do most of the talking, and the pedaling is just for show. Ooh. One thing I wish this had is there was somewhere to put a kickstand. Oh god, so good. Ooh, this is a bit fucking sandy here. See, if you start to lose traction at the front on this, just power through it. It seems to pull through it. I don't know how. I know it's obviously rear wheel drive and it's pushing it through, but I bet this sign's going to say no bikes. Fucking no cycling. No motorbikes or quad bikes. What the fuck? Technically, I'm not cycling if I'm not pedaling. Woo. Fucking 30 mile an hour off road. I think you can get back out on the road that way. Woo. Come on, baby. You can do it. Yes, baby. You see there, look, 1400 watts at the minute. This is what we're getting. You get bugs and your eyes water and everything when you start getting over 20 mile an hour. It's kind of necessary. Or if you've got a helmet with a visor. I mean, this helmet hasn't got a visor, so obviously I wear goggles, but yeah, your nose runs and all sorts. What's up here? Oh, I'm gonna go and investigate. It's a maze. Didn't say no bikes. Oh, there's a hide. It's a hide. Ooh, gotta be quiet, don't want to scare the birds away. This is where electric bikes come in handy. Is there anyone in here? There's nobody in here. Should have a look. It's supposed to be quiet, but I'm not being quiet. Alright, since there's no one around, we'll just shut this door. birds in their natural habitat. There's the bike. It's got a lot of bolt-on stuff. Mud hugger, front and back, mudguards. That I actually got that today. It's for a fat bike, but I'm trying to keep all the crap off all these wires. Eventually this will be all covered, but I've taken some time off lately from doing stuff to it, so I'm going to start again soon. And probably what I'm going to do is print an enclosure for this controller. So it's actually warm. Yeah, I think it's an 18 MOSFET anyway. I'll have to check. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, and then print something for them. Maybe all in one big bar, maybe. Hydraulic brakes, you need them for a bike this speed. Yeah, there's my suspension seat post. There's a cheap eBay seat that I think looks pretty cool. It's pretty comfy actually as well. Yeah, so the battery came in sort of, you know, the standard, you know, when they're just wrapped in the blue plastic like that. So obviously I've printed this enclosure for it. It's not perfect, but it looks pretty cyber, pretty, you know, cool. Everyone looks at it. The only problem with that is police will notice it. But I've done on this controller 260 miles, and I think I did about 220 on the old controller. So I've done nearly 500 miles on this, and I've had no problems with the place. Yeah, that's where I charge my battery. Yeah, it needs a better solution, but it works and it looks half decent. Everything works as it should, motor, battery, controller wise. The bike's got a couple of things wrong with it. It's all gear related, to be honest. The only things that I have a little bit of problem with the front brake that needs sorting out, but apart from that, it's pretty sorted. Right guys, that's it. That's the end of the video. I'll see you in the next e-bike or e-scooter video.